Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. And guys, it's interesting the things that has been going on in this world. And I think that justice has been downplayed and given a new name. While justice is referred to as Lady Justice, it seems that a lot of the ladies are not receiving justice anymore. Earlier this year, Roe versus Wade was reversed, and it took away the rights of women, as was other rights have been taken away. And I've never known this country to be a country to take away rights. But the women of this country better wake up and pay attention. There's an Ohio woman, her name is Brittany Watts of Warren, Ohio. And last month she was charged with attempted abuse of a baby that was crossed over. Brittany had a miscarriage at 22 weeks, and I'm sure that it was shocking to her and upsetting and confusing, and she probably just in a moment panicked. And when she looked and saw what had happened, she said that she heard a big splash and realized that it was a baby. And in her panic, she reached over, probably afraid, and flushed the toilet. And it caused the toilet to be clogged. Now, there was a doctor who saw her, and he made a statement. Brittany had already gone to the hospital twice complaining of pain, but she was sent home. Now, Brittany herself did make a statement, and she's attained attorney Ben Crump to represent her. And what her statement was, I had a miscarriage into a toilet during my 1L year. I did not fish out the tissue and attempt to bury it somewhere because I lived in a rented apartment. What was I supposed to do? Clandestinely buried in a public park, potted plant? I just sobbed and screamed and flushed because she probably was panicked. Now, attorney Ben Crump made a comment also and said, "This is heartbreaking. A young woman in Warren, Ohio has been charged with abuse of a corpse for trying to plunge a toilet after having a miscarriage at 22 weeks while using the restroom." And guys, this happens every day. I mean, it happens every day, and your mind does not give you instructions as to what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to handle this situation. Now, the doctor that spoke said his statement was the fetus was going to be non-viable, which means that the child was already deceased inside of her. It was not going to be viable because she had premature ruptured membranes. Her water had broken early, and the fetus was too young to be delivered. And this was forensic pathologist Dr. George Sternbens, he said in his testimony to the grand jury. The defense attorney, whose name was Tracy Timko, also made a statement saying this 33-year-old girl with no criminal record is demonized for something that goes on every day. The executive director, her name is Jessica Piper, of an agency called Blue Missouri, made a comment on Twitter saying, "Do folks know that women miscarry in toilets every single day? You better start building bigger jails if you're sending us to jail for flushing the toilet. Now, it's also being said that many professionals, including doctors, professors, lawyers, and others, made statements on Twitter saying that they were frustrated with the laws that was being used against Ms. Watts. As a doctor and a woman who had 3 wonderful living children and multiple pregnancies that didn't make it to term, I find this insane. Miscarriages in toilets, D&Cs with non-viable pregnancies, it's all traumatic, it's scary, and it's heartbreaking. No one should be tried for this. Reproductive right advocates basically said that the overturning of Roe versus Wade would be a contributing factor to cases like this, but criminalizing it, related to a pregnancy loss, is a new phenomenon. Guys, I'm almost speechless as to this situation. If this is what the world is coming to, then we women need to stand up now and start fighting all over again, and we got a fight on our hands for a lot of years back. Now, guys, that young woman, I'm sure, would much rather have had that child in her arm. No one would think for a minute that this young lady, 33 years old, would be trying to do something to harm that fetus. And anyone who ever had a miscarriage in the bathroom on the toilet, and I know many people in my years who has had this happen, they find themselves panicked. They don't want to accept what's happening, and they don't know what to do. And with the laws being what they are now, you probably are afraid to go in and say, I had a miscarriage. Because you never know what may happen. You may look up and there may be police coming from everywhere. Guys, this is a travesty. And this country needs to start working on solutions right now to try to have these instances scrutinized to determine where we need to start and go from here. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments section. Thank you so much for your support. Much love to you all. Smooches now. Smooches.